So it seems that the standard Chaos Marines are getting some fancy new options, and also might possibly have a brand new name for their standard troops choice. Let's talk about these Chaos Legionaries. Hello and welcome back to Warspets Tactics, where today we're talking Chaos, and a bit more good news for the followers of the Dark Gods. It appears that the standard Chaos Space Marine kit is going to be receiving a new upgrade sprue, another small release which seems to be in preparation for this rumoured major Chaos release that they're getting within the next few months. Basically, Chaos Space Marines are going to be getting one of these Kill Team upgrade sprues. There's going to be a new set of them coming out in this Kill Team Nachman box, the one where they're fighting the Eldar Corsair Void Scars, and then I'm guessing that the standard Chaos Space Marine box will be repackaged down the line, probably for their new codex, and with a few new juicy options on their datasheet in 40k. So first up, in this new box set, Games Workshop is referring to the Chaos Marines as Chaos Legionaries. They don't actually properly confirm it in any of their articles, but this has been rumoured already to be the new name for standard Chaos Space Marines when they do get their new codex drop. Obviously that's not 100% confirmed yet. It could just literally be a different name for the Kill Team set, but seeing as the name change had already been rumoured, and then that's followed up by some official mention of it, I think there's at least some chance that it could be, and I personally feel that it seems quite fitting for them. I always did find it a little bit strange that standard Chaos Space Marines basically had the same name as their faction, and that's pretty different to most of the other factions' troops choices, and not just merely Orcs, their Orc Boys, or Eldar Guardians for example. So I think it could be quite good to have Chaos Space Marines have Chaos Space Marine Legionaries as their main troops. I guess it might be a slight misnomer on any of their Renegade warbands that they have. Technically not really part of the main legions, but it does seem fitting enough for the core of the Chaos Army for me. As I mentioned, this new kit will first be releasing in Kill Team Nachman, one of Games Workshop's versus Kill Team boxes, where it's going to be Chaos versus Eldar this time. I was wondering whether the Chaos might be something more like humans or mutants. Could have been quite a nice way to add in a fun kit for them, but it seems that they've gone for upgrading the full-blown Chaos Space Marines instead. Otherwise, in the box there's going to be some Sector Mechanicus terrain, a Kill Team manual, a couple of transfer sheets, and I guess that the cost of the box might be something similar to the previous Kill Team Chalnath box set. That was the one with the new sets of battle models against the Tau Pathfinders with the upgrade sprue, so it kind of feels quite similar to that. In any case, that one was £105 or $170. I wouldn't be too surprised if this one was a little bit more expensive than that though, given Games Workshop's recent price rises. In any case, this new interesting Chaos upgrade sprue does seem quite similar to that Tau Pathfinder release, where they basically re-release a fairly recent kit but add a few fun options into it. It looks like they've got a few head swaps, as well as a few in-game weapons and special options, which will be interesting to see how many of them translate over into 40k. Judging by the Eldar Corsairs, at least some of them. If we actually take a look through the models now, it seems there's a squad leader with a demonic looking power sword. I quite like the Primaris head with the skull poking out of it as well. Not sure if that's an existing box piece or one of the new upgrades. Then perhaps one of the most intriguing models in the box is what appears to be a mini Psyker. This guy's apparently a Balefire Acolyte, and appears to be a mini squad Psyker, maybe in a not too dissimilar way to the way that the Corsairs have the option for a Warlock type upgrade with them. In any case, he does appear to have a fair bit of that Balefire going on, a nice burning knife, and also holding some flames in his right hand, and like a lot of Space Marine Psykers, showing off his book collection on his backpack. Next up we have a few fun melee weapons. One guy appears to have the option of being armed with a truly massive chain axe. Again, I'm not sure if that's a weapon that's already got a profile in the Chaos Codex. I feel like I might have seen a chain great axe on a different unit sometime before, but I might be just imagining it. In any case, I'm sure it's going to be a powerful melee upgrade. Would fit right in if you painted the squad up in World Eaters colours, I'm sure. There's then a couple of guys who look like they've got some slightly more subtle melee upgrades. One of them wielding a pair of serrated knives. This really seems to be quite a common theme for Kill Team operatives throughout the last few releases. One of the Orc Commandos had a similar combination of blades, as do one of the Eldari Corsairs. If it's anything like the Corsair one, then it might well be a specialist that you could add on to a unit. I believe the Corsair one was rumoured to have a 2+ weapon skill, and basically put out a flurry of extra attacks. The other guy appears to have traded out his chainsword for a nice possessed demonic hand. Maybe that does better at flensing his way through the enemy. Finally, last but not least, it seems that the squad's also going to be having a Reaper chain cannon as well. This one's really quite a cool upgrade to have present in the standard Chaos Space Marine kit. It's something that comes up quite often with Chaos Havocs, that they need to have extra chain cannons to fill out a unit of 4 if you want one. So having the part crop up or another Chaos set could be really quite helpful if you are looking to try and put those kind of squads together. At least it should kind of safeguard the standard Chaos Marines still retaining access to the chain cannon in the new codex. Games Workshop often does seem to like cutting out the options that don't actually appear in the box. Talking of which though, I do wonder whether or not this will be available to the basic troops choices themselves. The Orc Commandos had a lot of their fancier upgrades basically gated behind having a big 10 model unit, and that might well be the case for the standard Chaos Space Marines. It might be a bit more limited, as opposed to just allowing every single squad to take as many as they want, but I'm guessing that if Games Workshop does make some of these models really quite powerful, I think it would be quite weird if you saw every single Chaos Space Marine troops choice basically spamming say 5 of them and the Mini Psyker, if that does turn out to be the most efficient thing to take with them. I certainly suspect that the Great Axe and the Chain Cannon will be generic squad weapons. Perhaps the others might be included as options for specialists maybe. In any case, I think it'll be interesting to see if any 40k datasheets come with the sets, or if Games Workshop releases any sort of interim publication to allow you to use the new models in-game before the codex comes out. I have a feeling that they're still going to be saving the extra wound on standard Chaos Marines for when the actual codex drops, but it could be quite fun to have a way to use the new options in-game before then. In any case, just thinking through the other upgrades, the Balefire Acolyte I think could be really quite useful if it is similar to the Corsair alternative. That one's rumoured to basically be the equivalent of a mini Farseer within a squad with just one cast, and with Chaos Space Marines having some pretty powerful psychic on the go, it could be really useful to have a buffing unit hidden within the squad, or even if it's just farming out Smite each turn, that's not exactly the worst thing either. The Chain Great Axe could be a nice extra tool in actually making a genuinely melee threatening Chaos Space Marine squad. Hopefully they make it fairly efficient and not too overcosted just because it can be given to a rank and file person as opposed to a squad sergeant. I feel that often when they sprinkle in power fists and things into a unit like that, they can be a touch underwhelming for their cost. I'm going to guess that the guy with the knives might be represented by a specialist choice similar to the Corsairs. Again, it's probably going to be quite price sensitive as to whether or not any of the extra attacks are actually worth the investment, as of course they're not likely to be adding extra durability to the squad. Perhaps the worst news for the box is that it might well lead to a box price increase, maybe similar to what the Cadians got when they got their extra upgrade sprue. It's not necessarily guaranteed, but I wouldn't be too surprised if they are repackaging old models with yet more upgrades. Currently they're £35 or $60 before the March price increase. I'd hope that Games Workshop might be generous enough to keep the standard box like that. I feel that if they raise the price significantly from that, that's really going to be a barrier to enter the faction. So in any case, let me know what you think of the new Chaos upgrade sprue down in the comments below. I think overall it's added in a few fun characters to the box, and if they don't choose to charge any extra for it, then it's going to be a big win. Certainly quite nice the amount of customization you get compared with say standard Primaris intercessors. If you've enjoyed the video and you'd like to keep up with Games Workshop's news and releases in the future, feel free to subscribe to Auspex Tactics, where I will certainly keep these regular videos coming, with new ones out just about every day. Finally, if you have been enjoying all the videos on the channel, I'd just like to mention one way in which you can help support, and that's the Auspex Tactics Patreon page down in the video description below. Channel patrons do get a fair few advantages, seeing certain videos early, regular votes to see what sort of things happen next on the channel, and automatic entry into the regular prize giveaways with a chance to win some really big model kits each month. If any of that sounds good to you, or you'd just like to help support, then the link is down in the video description. In any case, a massive thank you for listening, and I'll hope to see you guys next time.